Hello, Gun Nation. We are live. That's what it says. We got Rich B in the house. We got Lake Ozark guy. We got Dirt Track. Yeah, it's 34 right now, but it has been colder this past week. Hell, we got down to like 5. It was cold. So, and this evening we're drinking a little Bullet bourbon. Cheers, everyone. First drink of the night. Always a good thing. So we're going to dip, drink, cuss, and call some shit. How about that? Let's see here. Get caught back up. We got Brian DeShane in the house. Hello. Hope y'all are all doing well. And yeah, what I wanted to talk about was, what are y'all kind of wanting to see at SHOT Show? I know we kind of got into it before, but now we're definitely getting closer. It's next week. I want to see if anybody has seen anything yet they're excited about. Or went ahead and grabbed something because they needed it. I did. I grabbed something today. I'll talk about it here in just a minute. Hello, reloading from the hot pot. He got him a new toy. Showed the box. I guess it's a Springfield Armory. I'm going to guess and say it is a Echelon. I don't think he's posted what it is yet. Not that I've seen. Just a picture of the box, but I bet it's an Echelon. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Could be a Prodigy, but I'm thinking an Echelon. But I guess we shall see when he post up what he has. Also, I have put some stuff on some guns already. I did put the Tandem Cross Victory trigger for the SIG P322. I don't know if y'all saw the post. I did do a post on it in the community tab, so y'all can go and check it out. That is brand new from Tandem Cross, and if you're interested in one, there's a little link there, and you can use my discount code to save you some money. Excuse me, I got the damn hiccups. Went and got the hiccups. Yeah, I did put the, again, it's called the SIG Victory, or the Victory trigger for the SIG P322. They only have it in red and black, so I got the red one. And also got in another part from them, and it is the Tandem Cross Taurus light trigger spring. So, and I've got I did the before testing and the after testing with the real trigger gauge, the digital trigger gauge. So I'll give you exact breakdown on that when I do the video. But I do want to, shoot it, test it. I just took it apart and put it in there. God dang, got the hiccups at the worst time. Maybe whiskey will kill it. Brian's asking, what does anyone think about the new double stack 9mm Kimber? Any fans out there? I'll give my opinion in just a second. We'll see if anybody chimes in. Hello, A-Dubs. Let's see here. Hello, Floridian. How are you? Yeah, I mean, I've looked at I've seen the Kimber. I think Humble has one, I think. Maybe he doesn't. I can't remember. I did put my hands on it. I saw it in West Texas and put my hands on it. Not saying it's bad. The grip texture on the front and the rear is very lacking. They're kind of trying to make it more sleek, I guess. Like I said, I'm sure it's nice. I haven't shot it. But it really doesn't. If you already have 2011s, I don't know if there's a place for it for me. But and I think it is proprietary mags. I can't remember, but I think it is. God dang it. IBG's in the house. Bald and Curious is in the house. Trigger Bar is in the house. Lynn Holt. Bald is saying from frozen New York. Yeah, it was really cold here earlier this week. Like I said, I think we were down like 5 degrees, and that wind chill, man, and that was with the wind chill, of course, and it was cold, and then it was 11. I mean, it was kind of shitty for a couple of days. Hello, Clyde Cumberland. But so I do have those trigger or tandem cross parts again for the 322 trigger, and then for the tandem cross Taurus lightning spring, a lightning trigger, lightning. It's not lightning like it shocks you. It's light. It makes it lighter. So, but anyway, yeah, the trigger is definitely changes it. And the neat thing, you don't have to have the tandem cross trigger. You can use the stock trigger and just get the lightning spring for the Taurus, and it does work on the factory trigger as well. So those are pretty cool. Also, I do have a new custom rifle bag coming. And what sucks is it was supposed to be here Friday, or it was showing that it was going to be here Friday because I'd been tracking it. And then I looked a little while ago and it's like Monday, and I'm going to be out of town Monday. And I'm like, damn it, because I kind of wanted to get it before the weekend. I'm pretty excited about it. It's a very unique one. As far as, I'll just go ahead and say it, as far as the pattern, it's not a common one that Lynx does. So it is pretty badass. So I'm pretty excited about it. And then also, I don't know if y'all saw it on the community tab, but I did get 25 round 322 mags. So I finally found them in stock, and they're actually on an incredible sale. They're normally like $39.99 a piece for the SIG P322 25 round mags. But this place in Oklahoma had them on sale for $24.95. So I bought 6 of them. So I've got 6 25 round mags and now 5 20 round mags for the P322. So what I wanted to ask y'all's opinion of, and I loaded them all. Y'all probably saw the little community tab where, you know, they were all empty. Everything was empty as far as my 22 round mags. And then I loaded all of them. I sat here and loaded them. And I mean, it took forever. But, you know, they're all loaded now. But would anybody want to see a burn down of the SIG P322 with 250 rounds, right? Just one mag after another? Would anybody want to see a SIG P322 250 round burn down? So if you want to see it, let me know. If you're kind of like, who cares? You know, please put it in the comments. You're not going to upset me either way. But would anybody want to see that? So that's 250 rounds straight. The gun would be clean and oiled. And then we're just going to let it rip. I did load every one of the mags with Federal Auto Match. I didn't want to use CCI, you know, because that's a premium. I have CCI. But I wanted to use kind of like, you know, a load you could just go buy at Walmart, you know, and reasonable, like a plinker load, so to say. So I decided to do it all with Auto Match and just see, you know, if it'll run them all or if it'll start choking, you know, just like I said, get it super hot, not suppressed. I'm going to run them all unsuppressed and just, you know, just see what it'll do. If it'll just start freaking getting hot and shutting down or what. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen anybody load or shoot 250 rounds in a row out of a SIG P322. So I'm just curious if it'll do it or not. Let's see here. Let me try to catch back up. Sorry about that. I think there were some questions. Haven't felt 13 degrees in a long time. Yeah. Hello, Abigail. How are you? Abigail saying definitely. Casey saying I would. Reloading is saying yes. Let's see here. IBG is Pig 322. Thoughts on Pantera? You talking about the band or the car? The car was pretty rare, and they're badass on the cars. I've only seen two Pantera cars personally in my life, and they are pretty badass cars. But yeah, Pantera the band, Dimebag Darrell, that's my generation. Yeah, Pantera was pretty awesome if you're talking about the band as well. That's what the P stands for Never mind, we won't even say that. Hello, Palindrome. How are you doing? P stands for poor quality. Well, I don't know if y'all watched that video I did on the SIG P322, but that is the only SIG I own, and it will probably be the last SIG I own. So far, it's been a pretty reliable 22. I really enjoy 22s. The band, yeah, I like Pantera, the band. I grew up listening to them, and Dimebag Darrell and all those guys. I went to a jam, forget the damn name of the concert, like Summer Jam or something, and they were there. But when I got there, they had just finished their set, so I didn't get to see them. This was forever ago. Damn, Abigail fractured her rib. That sucks. Yeah, broken ribs and fractured ribs suck. I've had plenty of broken ribs from cattle wrestling or steer wrestling and, rodeo shit and football. So that is not fun. You can't do shit for it either. I remember I had a strap or I don't know what the hell they called them, like rib girdles or something. Long time ago when I first started rodeoing, we never wore them and broke all kinds of ribs. And then when you put them on, you could still break a rib, but it just kind of kept everything tight. And it actually helped you breathe even when you had a broken rib. So sorry about that. Governor Abbott is sending me an email because he is going to be local to me doing some kind of a speech. Yep, Palindrome was saying 22s are fun, but 22 full auto is funner. Yeah, I mean, I like auto, full auto. Let me rephrase that. I like it. It's cool. But when you've shot so many, and they weren't, I don't own one, but when you've shot so many, it kind of, I don't know. I like other people to shoot them and enjoy them, especially people who have never shot them, whether it be 9, whatever. I like watching their facial expressions because they've never shot them before. So I think it's cool. DB says the Glock 17L is going strong. Got another 150 rounds through it. Cool, man. Yeah, they're fun. Keep it oiled. Don't be like me. Yes, you're exactly right, Rich B. If you don't want to sneeze, you don't want to laugh, you don't want to cough, yeah, because it sucks. What's up, Chris? How are you, man? Chris from the 740 will be going to Vegas. Bald's going to Vegas. So they will be doing our SHOT Show for us. So y'all all tune into Chris from the 740. He's going to be doing a lot of SHOT Show coverage. I'm sure Bald will too. But yeah, definitely tune into those guys. Yep, that's what you can do is drink a lot when you have broken ribs. But let's see here. Yeah, and what I'm kind of looking for at SHOT Show, and we were going to talk about it, but at SHOT Show, a lot of people have asked me, hey, what do you want to see? I've had a lot of questions about that. And what I want to see is probably some more 22s, high capacity 22s. Let me rephrase that. High capacity 22s. That'd be cool if somebody else came out with one, that was a reliable brand or, we don't know yet. We haven't tested it if anybody's even going to come out with it. But I'd like to see some more 22s. I think that'd be cool. I don't know if there's going to be any earth-shattering 2011s. That would be cool, if somebody came out with it. I've already shot the Watchtower. That was their prototype. And not saying it's bad or good or anything like that. It just, yes, it was nice. I liked the way it looked and things like that. But to be honest with you, it's like, did it shoot any better than my MPA or my staccato or anything like that. Can't really say it did. Was it like earth shattering? No. Was it a cool gun? Yes. Um, Pewview, that's Pewview's edition. I even texted him after I shot it. They didn't bring any oil, and it was choking because it hadn't been oiled. It was freaking dry as a bone. And 2011s need oil for sure, or 1911s as well. And it was, like I said, it was literally dry as a bone. So it was starting to choke up on me. And I was yelling at the guys, either take this thing off the line or get some freaking oil in it. And I texted Pewview and said, dude, this thing, they're running it dry as a bone. And he was like, oh, gosh. He said, that thing's got a crap load of rounds through it because that was their prototype. So I wasn't expecting a lot out of it. But, it is what it is. Yeah, I think y'all will have fun in Vegas. Taylor is saying, do you still have your QVO tactical outside waistband holster, and do you still recommend them? How's the quality and durability of them? Yes, I mean, it's a good holster. I've got the wrapped holster. Roger built it for me. I mean, it's a good holster. No problems with it, anything like that. The only thing that I would say is mine fits the TLR7A. That's what I had it made for. And I do run the X300 Turbo and Ultra, or what is it? Yeah, I guess it's the Ultra. I can't remember. Whatever. The non-turbo. I run those a lot on my 2011s versus the TLR7A on a 2011. So I don't use the holster much anymore. But I will say this, and I've got a video where I talk about all of them. If you're looking for the best 2011 holster, as we are right now, I've got another one that's coming that I'm going to be testing. But the best 2011 holster with the X300 is the Tenacore. By far. Now, you can't get fancy colors. You can't get a wrap. It just comes in black, or black. But it is a fabulous holster. Really, really love it. I've got the 4-inch and the 5-inch, and I highly recommend them because I can't run the QVO also because I have the comp. I run the Threat Cadre comps on both of my Staccatos. I can run it in the DS9, in the MPA. The MPA DS9 carry, if I put a TLR7 on it, I could run the QVO, but I still run an X300 on it as well. I've got multiple X300s, and I run it. So that's my choice for those guns, is that light. But yeah, the QVO is a good holster. It's just the way it fits my body. I carry appendix. I do prefer the Tenacore. So, not knocking Roger's holster. It's nice, but I do prefer the Tenacore. I'm just being honest. Bald, super excited about another SIG. Yeah, SIG doesn't come to SHOT anymore. They haven't came to SHOT. I think the last time they came anywhere was, I think they went to the NRA show and when it was in Dallas, because that's when I talked to Phil Strader about the broken 365 freaking firing pins that I broke. I broke Harry's. First pull out of the bag and I freaking snapped the firing pin. Let's see here. So if y'all want to see the burn down on the SIG P322 250 round burn down, I'll do that if y'all want to see it. Another thing that is, it's been happening, or I've been getting these questions like very recently, a lot of these questions, not just one or two. I mean, it's probably, and I'm not being sarcastic or joking around, it's probably been about 10 or 11 questions in probably about the past 2 or 3 weeks of people are wanting me to, they're asking me, and I know they're not, I know they're just wanting help, and I'm trying to help them as much as I can. So this isn't a negative comment, but they're wanting me to like they'll say, or here's exactly one of the questions. It says, do you think this gun, and it'll be either the DS9 hybrid or the Staccato P or the Staccato C2, whichever 2011 video it's on, but multiple ones, and you can go in and look at them. These questions are there. I didn't delete them or anything. But it'll say, do you think this DS9 hybrid will fit my hand? And then what they'll do is they'll leave a paragraph. I'm not talking 2 or 3 sentences. I'm talking a paragraph, and they will say, I've got medium hands, and on normal, like on this particular gun, XD, they were saying on my full size XD, I have to break my grip to push the mag release button, and blah blah blah. So, do you think that it would fit my hand? I'm talking a paragraph, and I'm reading them, and I'm like, if you're having a problem with an XD, or you're having a problem with a Glock, or you're having, whatever other smaller grip, yeah, 2011 grips are larger. But, a lot of people think they can do everything with one hand, meaning like I can hit the mag release, I can work everything because my hands are huge, but most people's aren't like that. So what I tell them is, if you can't hit the mag release or break your grip to hit the mag release, when you want to eject a mag, come up with your left hand, release the mag, dump the mag. I know you're going to have to do an extra step, or break your grip, push the mag release, draw your other mag, load it, and as you're coming up, take your left thumb and hit the slide release to release the slide, send it home. And, a lot of people have to do that. It's pretty common, but I guess maybe they're new to 2011s and they've never experienced that. So I'm like, you've got to train around your gun. You've got to adapt to your gun. I've had medium hand guys, large hand guys shoot my 2011s and try them. And, they're like, oh man, I can't do this. I can't do that. And I'm like, well, just, do this, do that. And I'm not a trainer or anything, but I'm just saying, hey, this might work for you, try this. And they're like, oh, the left hand, hitting the slide release does work. So I'm like, it's just something you're going to have to train through. So, I'll put all that information back in there, but it's been so many comments. So I don't know, a lot of people are saying, hey, I'm going to be shoot IDPA, and I'm going to get a new gun for the new season. So maybe that's what it is. And I'm trying to help as much as I can, but at the end of the day, I haven't seen them shoot. I don't know, I don't know anything. They don't have a YouTube channel where I can look, and, I'm out at a professional, but, I haven't seen their size of their hands and comparing it to which gun they're truly talking about. And I've had people go, oh, when I wrap my fingers around, I'm, an eighth of an inch here and a quarter of an inch there, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I'm out of town. I can't check the gun for you. I can't measure stuff with a micrometer. So, and I know that those guns aren't just laying around so people can go try them. I get it. That's a lot of money to dump if it might not work for you. But if you want to get a 2011, get a 2011 and just, try it. I know it's not a cheap expense, but if you have doubt, don't get one. That's kind of where I really come from. But it is what it is. But trying to help as much as I can. But man, it's been a lot of questions. Let me catch back up here real quick. Well, Brian, I try to mention it because I don't have any problems hitting all that stuff. And I know some people do, but, we can't just sit there and put our hands together and go, okay, yeah, if your hand's this big. Oh, I've also had people ask me to measure my hands and send them my hand measurements. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Do you want feet pics as well? That's just kind of weird. Yeah, I get it, Abigail. But a lot of the ranges, they don't have, a lot of them don't have like MPAs or metal gripped guns. They might have like a Staccato, and it's very similar. But a lot of people, a lot of people are just curious, and I get it because that's a big expense and you don't want to dump that money out if it's not going to work for you. But I think if you want it to work for you, you can adapt to it. Unless it's a Glock angle. I'm just joking. Uh-oh. Bald's got a date with Ray, X-Ring. They'll have a good time. Yeah, the 365 AXG. Yeah, I mean, those guns don't do anything for me. I know a lot of people love SIGs. That's cool. But yeah, because I know Texas Gun Experience has, well, I guess I might as well show this Texas Gun Experience. They've got like the John Wick, Terran Tactical 2011. They've got a Staccato 2011. I think they also have a Nighthawk 2011. Trying to remember all of them. I want to say they've got a Prodigy also. I think they have like 4 or 5 2011s, but a lot of ranges don't have any 2011s, that I've seen. So, yeah, X-Ring's a really good guy. If y'all haven't met him, he's a really nice guy. Hello, Turkey's Opinion. Yeah, and I guess Turkey's Opinion is going to have a chat on Friday night, like a late night chat, and he's invited me to be on it. So I should be able to make that. So if y'all want to tune into it, definitely go over to Turkey's Opinion and subscribe. And we're going to be talking about some stuff he's got set up. I won't give away all the details. But when some people shoot staccatos, they're like, I've shot a staccato, but I haven't shot an MPA. And one is a metal grip, one's a polymer grip. So there is a little bit of difference. And I will say this, I don't care what anybody says, I am not recoil sensitive at all. But you will feel more recoil, more felt recoil in an aluminum or steel grip versus a polymer, because a polymer dampens the recoil. So, I've tested many of them, and not saying it's bad, not saying any of that. It's just different. But I love my MPAs. I love my metal grips. I love my polymer grips. So it's not a big deal, but it is. You'll feel a little more recoil impulse with a metal / steel or aluminum grip. But yeah, I'm excited about SHOT, to see, like, I don't know if there's going to be anything that's earth shattering, but I'm really excited to see if they're going to have any more dots. I'm also kind of excited, and I know they kind of talked about it last SHOT Show, but HoloSun was talking about their thermal optic, kind of looks like an EOTech. It's kind of like an EOTech with a thermal and a day scope all built into one. And they had it at the last SHOT Show, and I was like, oh, that might be pretty cool. But it never came out. So I'm wondering if this SHOT Show, they're going to say, okay, it's officially available. Because if it's a day and a thermal scope all in one, that could be really badass. And at the time, they were talking like $1,000 to $1,500 or $2,000, something like that. I mean, that could be a really cool thing if it works properly. Hello, K04S4. How are you doing? Yeah, but what you can do is you can bore sight one. I don't know if you've ever done it, Brian. When you get a brand new AR and you get a new dot at home, I mean, you could go to your farthest point, like even like from the side of your house, maybe to your back fence, and you can bore sight it a little bit and get it, like where you actually open it up, or you even just take the upper off. You mount your dot, you take the upper off, and you just kind of bore sight it. So you're looking through your bore and you're kind of adjusting it down. So I've done that many a times. And then when I go to the range, I'm pretty damn close. I mean, it's not like off the paper or anything crazy. It's pretty damn close. So I kind of bore sight them at home. I don't have a bore sighter where you stick it in there. You can get that little laser and stick it in there. I mean, I do now with the Mantis, but I didn't at the time. So I just bore sight them and, kind of eyeball bore sight it and do it that way. There's plenty of people who have videos showing that as well. I've seen some of them that are pretty crazy off though. So, I mean, I've gotten some dots before and I'm like, who the hell did this? I mean, it was like way up to the right. I'm like, good Lord. Like somebody was just checking, cranking on it, just testing it out, see how many times it would turn. Yeah, William's saying he's good with iron sights and a light for home defense. Here's where you got to go with that also. If your home is dark for some reason, you're not able to turn on a bunch of lights, how are you going to see your sights? Just being honest, you can turn on your flashlight and get some wash off of the walls to kind of see your sights, but I would highly recommend a red dot, at least. Matter of fact, I went to Bowers Precision in Denton, Texas. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of them. Really good guys, and I did purchase a Unity fast riser today. I've got a little project, and I did get it in FDE. So I've got a little project. Went ahead and bought myself something. Got a little project that I'm going to be changing up. So I did grab that today. I needed one, and I've been putting it off, and I'm like, because here's what I run into with rifles. I got a big old head and a long neck. So, with my rifles, when I get way down on them, I'm turtling and all that. So if I'm shooting a lot, man, it just drives my neck crazy. I just can't stand it. And I've been shooting with a 193 mount with a scope on my Vortex 1:6 HD, and I love it. It's awesome. I don't want to say the word game changer because everybody wears out that damn word, but it is legit for me. Now, is it good to get in the prone with those? No, because you're going to be craning your neck if you're in the prone. But I'm talking about CQB stuff, heads up type display, heads up type. So I'm going to be moving a holographic sight. I'm going to be moving it up. It's already a third co-witness. So I'm going to put the riser on it. This is the lower riser, which should bring it up to like a 223, I believe, 2 something, which will probably be really good for me. So kind of excited about throwing that on there and giving it a run, see what I think about it. So yeah, Taylor, that's what I was talking about before. The fabric stayed together. If you want to watch, I've got a video on it where I wore that thing for like 2 months straight, every single day. And I even talk about it in the video. And all I had was like where the belt had just kind of worn a little on it, but it didn't peel it off. It didn't fray it, didn't do anything that, but you can see the wear mark on it, which is normal wear. It's a holster. So you don't want to, it's not a safe queen. It's just a fabric overlay, but it didn't wear it off. It just does have a wear mark on it though. And that was 2 months straight of driving, walking. I mean, literally carrying it every day, appendix. So, and I did carry it even after that, but I purposely carried it every day for 2 months straight. So that's a good 60 days, not just a week or 2 days or 3 days. I wanted to put some time behind it. So I talk about it in the video. But yeah, I know a lot of people do talk about iron sights and stuff like that. If you've got your house lit up really well, iron sight's not a problem. But if it's in the dark, you're screwed. Just letting you know, you can't see shit. It'd be like in a dark alley, trying to see your sights. And everybody's like, well, I've got night sights. The night sights just show you. It doesn't show him. So, it doesn't show the perp. So that's why red dot, in my opinion, there's multiple reasons I think, this is just my opinion, not trying to make anybody mad, but I think dots are far, far superior over iron sights. You got to think about it this way. Most people, when they buy an AR, First thing they buy is a dot. Well, if you buy a pistol, why wouldn't you want a dot on your pistol? Because you actually have less points of contact on a rifle than you do a pistol. So, in my opinion, DB doesn't go in dark alleys. I get it, but I look at it this way: if you're in a grocery store or anything, if there's a power outage and you're stuck in a damn department store, and don't say it doesn't happen. It happened to me. I was in Oklahoma City. I was in the Walmart in Oklahoma City, and the freaking lights, all the power went out. And I was in the middle of a Walmart with no power. And I was like, holy shit. They had a couple of little lights that popped on, but it was still pretty damn dark. They had emergency lighting that kicked on. But I'm just saying, anything can happen. You don't know. It could be weather related. It could be whatever. So that's why I say flashlight, whether it's in your pocket or on your gun or both. I carry both. I don't just carry it on the gun because you don't want to be waving people. So I always carry one in my pocket, and I do usually have one on my gun. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from Staccato, so I don't know if they are going to come out with something new. It would be cool if they did. If they do, my opinion is it's going to be the C2 with the new upgraded stippling. That's what I think, because they did it on the CS, they've done it on every other gun, but they haven't done it on the C2 yet. So that's what I think their upgrade is going to be, in my opinion. But I don't know. Hello, Matt Moore. How are you? Ever been in a Walmart and feel underpowered with a G19? Yeah, I mean, whatever works for you. Not a shopping spree. I don't know. They might have some people, guarding the door. Who knows? The C2 is going to take the new mags. They're going to go to the CS mags. Wow. That's different. I'm glad I have my C2 because I don't need those smaller mags, and I'm invested in the other mags already. Yeah, I've got a little stream light on my keychain, and then also I carry a stream light in my pocket. So, I can always light up something. Let's see here. But yeah, to fit a gun to somebody, or unless you have it in your hand, it's kind of impossible to do it online. And say, oh yeah, that fits you, or now you've tried it. I can't really, I can only say, hey, here's what it is, or have you tried a Prodigy or Staccato or something, or can you go and at least put your hands on one somewhere, just to get an idea. I just don't want anybody to buy something and regret it, or, but I just think, like me with Glocks, I've never really liked the Glock angle, but I can shoot one. And I can train around it. Other people can train around it. It's just not my perfect scenario. But I grew up on 1911s. A lot of people grew up on Glocks, or, that angle. So I like turtles. Yeah. I have not shot the Platypus. And yeah, it is really cool that you can sit there and customize everything: threaded barrel, non-threaded barrel, stainless steel barrel, DLC barrel, whatever you want. And then all the color codes, or all the color combinations. And plus it does take Glock mags. Those are the most common mags around. So, I definitely think it has a place, especially in what I've even talked to friends about it that are diehard Glock fans, and they have tons of Glock magazines. So I'm like, and they're like, hey, I'm thinking about getting into the 2011s. What do you think I should get? And I'm like, well, you're heavily invested in Glocks. You've got tons of Glock mags. Have you thought about the Platypus? I have personally not shot it. Humble, whenever we hook up, I can shoot that, shoot his and see what I think about it. I don't like his color combination that he picked himself. Um, I don't like the trigger that he picked. I don't like the round trigger guard that he picked. And I don't like the half rail that he picked. I would do a full rail. I would do a square uh, trigger guard. There's a lot of differences that I would pick, but that's the good thing about this. You can pick what you want, not what other people want. That's the great thing about that gun. So I think it brings a lot to the party, so to say, and it has a lot of offerings that people can pick what they want and the colors they want. If I had one, I would have it to where nobody had one like me. It would be crazy. So, and I'm not saying I'm not ever going to get one. Um, I just don't need it. But, I thought about like, man, just go ahead and get one, and I'm like, So I don't know. And I think I would personally prefer the commander length over the 5-inch because I have other 5-inch guns. And I think I would probably carry and use the commander length more personally. But I think it's a cool option. Look at that. Reloading kind of knows where my head is. Yeah. It would be a bright boy, that's for sure. It would be caution, And I've had a lot of people tell me, oh man, I don't know if you've seen my Mossberg, but my Mossberg is like 90% orange. My 590A1. And a lot of people said orange means less lethal. And I'm like, not this orange one. This orange one means more lethal. They're supposed to introduce the CS changes across the lineup, especially C2 increased mag capacity, and mags are supposed to be better, being designed around 9mm and still a 45 thin grips. Gideon's, they are actually better mags. Where they're better mags is, I've shown this in videos before, if you eject a C2 mag, like say you've got one in the chamber and you eject it. You eject the mag, your top bullet will be really far pushed forward, like it's trying to send it. It'll stick out. Sometimes if you shake the mag, it'll fall out because it's kind of halfway out. That's the design of that particular mag. The CS, it does not do that. So those are the changes. But I mean, that's cool. Like I said, I'm glad that I have the C2 that I have, because those mags are compatible across all my 2011s already. Not the Bull, because they have their own proprietary, but I don't own a Bull. And that's the reason I don't own a Bull, because the proprietary magazines. And then the CS would have its own proprietary magazine. I've done a deep dive into the CS. I think I put damn near 500 rounds through a CS. It was probably 400 or 500 rounds through a CS. I shot that damn thing all day. It wasn't my gun. It's a buddy of mine's gun. And honestly, just with the way I'm built, my hand size, I prefer the C2. But a lot of people like the CS. They're both great guns. It's just whichever one you prefer. But because of the mag compatibility, that's why I like the current C2 that I have over the CS. And the room on the grip, because on the CS, when I wrap around the CS and get my hand, I can almost wrap my hand all the way around the CS. I mean, I've got pictures where I have no room. So on my C2, I still have room to put my left hand in that opening. On the CS, I don't. So, and that's a me problem, not a you or most people problem. So, there you go. Yes, I have seen those, Matt. The Rosta Martin, yep, they're made in Dallas. And for a budget gun, I mean, they look pretty good. I mean, but it's another Glock clone. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't need another one. So, of course, Bald, I mean, you and Reloading from the Hot Pot know that it'd be orange. Let's see here. Have you seen LWRC is coming out with a 9mm IC? What are your thoughts? LWRC makes good shit. I mean, they make very, very nice things. But You know, is it something I need personally? Not really. But if it's something you're looking for, I mean, they make great guns. So I don't think you can go wrong with that if that's what you're looking for. I mean, they make really good stuff. Yes, you're right. It takes CZ75 compact mags to be exact. So, and I've got tons of PO1 mags. I have what's the other one I have? I've got the 15 rounders. I've got the 17 rounders. It is a PO1, but they're extended. So I've got the 17. It's the plus twos. So I still have a bunch of those mags. So yeah, they would fit right in there. But I mean, that is the cool thing about it is it does take CZ75 compact mags. No, Palindrome. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. The Staccato C is a great pistol. I mean, I've shot threat cadres a lot. It is smaller, being the single stack that it is, but it's a great gun. Nothing wrong with it. And I know that you said you shoot it really, really well. So if you shoot something great, I don't care if it's a high point. I don't give a shit what it is. If you shoot it great and you feel comfortable in the way that it functions, shit, shoot it, carry it. Yeah, I was going to say I saw Smith and Wesson is announcing something. There's who else? There's somebody else that's announcing something. And see, I don't have Instagram anymore, but somebody sent me something and said, "Hey, check this out." But yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of stuff we're going to see dropping. C6 LEDEZ is saying, Big John, hey bud, have you shot a Wilson Combat SF X9 or EDC X9 3.25 or 4-inch? Yes, I have. I've shot the EDC X9. It was the 4-inch, and I think it's a great gun. It is proprietary mags. Both of them are to their guns. They're great guns, but I actually prefer my C2 better. Now, if you're wanting more of a svelte kind of gentleman's gun, the Wilson Combat, you can't go wrong. If you're wanting more of a, beat it up and you don't care about it, then get the Staccato. There's nothing wrong with it. And I actually really like my DS9 carry. It is a fabulous gun. It shoots great, and it's got the metal frame on it. I just didn't have a real, and I do like that they have no safety on the back, no grip safety. I love that. The gun just didn't fit me very well with my hand size. It'd probably be fabulous. It really comes down to what you want, what you prefer. But yes, they're great guns. There's nothing wrong with them. So you can't go wrong with them. I would say it's more of a gentleman's, all the rough edges are smoothed off. It's kind of like a James Bond type carry gun. I shot Harry's. Harry's Holsters had one. And like I said, it was a great gun. I have seen those, but I've never shot one. The 12 gauge, I have seen one, but again, I've never shot one. But they look really cool. Yeah, that's who makes the mags, is CZ. And CZs are awesome. Oh, that's a good question. Turkey's opinion, Big J, how would you rate the reliability of the average 2011 versus the average 1911? As we know, some 1911s can be a little funny, sometimes especially when dirty. Yes, and some of your older 1911s, like really old, like I've owned in the past, I've had to ream them. I've had to have, back when they would call it punching the barrel. because they wouldn't feed. Like, they were designed for what, FMJs, but they wouldn't run hollow points. They wouldn't wouldn't run flat nose. I'm talking about the old 1911s. Your common modern 2011s, in my opinion, run better than the old 1911s and more reliable with all ammo. FMJs, hollow points, there's usually no issues because they've already compensated for that. They've got a different angled feed ramp. It's kind of hard to see from the human eye, but if you pull out the barrel and you're holding it barrel to barrel, you can kind of see a little difference of the angle. I prefer, and I've got older 1911s, but I prefer the 2011s personally because it's double stack and it fits my hand a little better. But I mean, to an older 1911 or a cheaper budget 1911, I would take a 2011, a more modern 2011, in my opinion. As long as you clean them and oil them. And the big thing is they can run dirty. I mean, you can get them super dirty. Even old 1911s, you could run them dirty. They could be dirty as hell, but you had to have lube in them. If they were dirty and dry, they would not run. If they were dirty and well lubed or wet, yeah, they'd run freaking all day. And I will say this, on the newer 2011s, where your slide is, it's actually kind of designed to push, the carbon, the gunk, the fouling. It's kind of designed to push it out versus keep it encapsulated in there. So I've had more reliability issues with the older 1911s versus the newer, more modern 1911s/2011s. And that's my opinion of the ones that I've ran. Here we go. He says, I agree. I also have the DS9 Commander thanks to you. Yeah, I mean, it's a great gun. It runs really, really good. Matter of fact, I carried the DS Commander, and I have a special edition where they laser etched some stuff on it for me. I carried that this past weekend. I carried it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this past week because I was just like, oh, hello there, baby. I haven't carried you in a long time. And of course, I keep them locked and loaded in the holsters in the safe. And I grabbed that sucker out of there and popped it on. Of course, I always lift them up, make sure my dot's good. And when you carry a flashlight on your gun, make sure you take the gun out. You turn your flashlight on and you adjust your dot accordingly. Adjust your dot up. So if you have to hit that light, it doesn't wash out your dot. So always check that. So because at that particular time I had turned the dot down, now of course it was it goes to sleep and turns off and all that shit. But I did have the dot turned down because it was going to be in the safe for a while. So when I turned it out, I adjusted it accordingly and I was good to go. So because I have had a dot washed out before and that's not fun. And you don't want that to happen in a go situation. Yeah, I mean, I've ran, and y'all know I like running shit till it, a lot of people are like, God, you need to clean your gun. I can't believe your gun's dirty because I've shown them on video and people are like, oh my God, how did you put that gun up dirty? And I'm like, I'm just from this. I used to be the guy that I would go shoot, 200 rounds. I'd come home and clean it. That was way back in the day. I don't do that shit anymore. I'm just being honest with you. I want to run not to where it's going to completely shut off, but I want to run a gun to test it for myself. I want to run it dirty. And I mean, of course, I'll lube it, all except I didn't lube the Deadpool that day because it had been in the safe for about a year. I hadn't shot it. So it eventually dried up. But, I want to be able to run guns dirty and see if they're going to take it, see if they're going to run, because not saying I'm going to roll around in dirt or dust, but, if I can't run a dirty gun, I don't want the damn gun. And I'm just being honest with you. I'm not the cleaning princess anymore. Okay, IBG, I will do that. Yeah, I've actually seen some LX450s, not the 470, but I've seen the 450, where the people, I deal, I don't know if y'all know what I do. I haven't really announced it, but I deal a lot in the customization of cars. Let's put it that way. I deal a lot in the customization of cars. So I've seen a lot of Lexus LX450s that were set up overlanding. Um, and some people are selling them. But, and there's a big but, these things have everything in the world. They've got lifts. They've got, I mean, everything is updated in them. So they're not cheap. These aren't like, hey, grandma drove it and you can get a good deal. These aren't those. But I will keep my eye open for you. If I find one, I'll shoot a picture of it. I don't know. We'll put it this way. If I find one that's a good price and all that other stuff, I will shoot a picture of it with, the information, and I'll post it on my community tab for you. How about that? Because I do see them. Matter of fact, man, I saw an orange. Oh my gosh. I wanted this thing. I mean, put it this way. After they fix it, I have the owner's information. I'm going to definitely check. It's an orange International Scout. And these things are rare, especially in this condition. This thing is super, super nice. The guy's got the convertible top. I mean, this thing is really, really nice. And it's orange. It's already done. It's not, I wouldn't say it's 100 up to spec, but it's pretty damn close. It needs an axle bearing, an axle seal. It could end up needing a rear end, but what I would do with it is yank those stock rear ends out, and I'd put a Ford Super Duty rear end in it. That's what I would do. But so I don't even give a shit about the stock rear end. But I have his information. Matter of fact, I've already texted him and said, hey, do you want to sell it as is? And he hasn't responded. But supposedly I talked to the shop owner, and he is going to want to sell it after it's fixed. But I said, what if you don't fix it? Will you sell it as is? Because this thing's pretty damn nice. I would like it. Have a good night, Reloading. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see here. Turbo Pay, or Paul. Which 22 bolt action rifle do you like or would you like to have? One that I really, really like, and I own it. I've got videos on it. I have the Savage B22 Performance, and it's not an expensive gun. It is a bolt gun. And the thing with the correct ammo, with Lapua Center X, I've got videos on it, with Lapua Center X in an indoor 50-yard range, I can shoot Lapua Center X 5-shot groups, and it is my freaking fingernail. All 5 shots will be in my pinky fingernail. That thing is accurate as shit. It's not the carbon fiber barrel. It's the steel barrel. It's super accurate. It's got the, the trigger. I forget the damn name of it, where it's kind of adjustable. I've got it adjusted all the way to the lightest. I think it's like a 2-pound trigger. It's that Savage Performance trigger. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure somebody will throw it in the chat. But the gun is great. It's got the MDT chassis. It weighs 7.5 pounds without the scope. It's a heavy gun, but it comes that way. So out of the box, it's a really great gun. I enjoy it. I call it like my comfort gun when I want to shoot and relax. It's a fabulous gun. CZ makes the 457. They make a bunch of different 22s. They're fabulous guns too. I just really prefer this one because of the MDT chassis. And I can just lay down behind it with a bipod and, do some work. It's just fun as shit. Super relaxing, and I love it. So, Matt, I know people that are like that. Matt says, I can't sleep at night with a dirty gun. I'm borderline OCD. I get it. But what I used to kind of be that way because I'm like, oh my God, that's a $500 gun and I'm leaving it dirty. But I was just like, you know what? If a dirty gun can't run, I don't want it. And I'm not saying dip it in mud and then try to shoot it. I'm not saying that. But I don't mind getting a gun dirty. I have a $5,000 rifle, and I'll get it super dirty, and I'll shoot the shit out of it, and I'll put it up dirty. because I want to see what it'll do the next time. So, I mean, that's just me and the way I've changed. And if you're not that way, that's cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Be yourself, man. Oh, Scott, you love the one that I saw the other day. Let me see if I've still got a picture of it. This one was super nice. It was a Defender. It was all green. I sent a picture of it to Harry, and he about threw a fit. This one was 100% done. This thing was awesome. Oh, I might have just sent it to him, and I didn't take a picture of it. I might have just taken a picture and text. Yeah, I did. Let's see if I can pull it up where I texted it to him. It was a long time ago. This thing was awesome. I have a customer who only does Land Rovers. That's what he specializes in. And this thing was sweet. I mean, I was like, damn, I'm not even a Land Rover guy. And this thing was badass. Let me see. I run across some pretty incredible trucks and cars throughout my days. Damn, this must have been way back. Oh, and I did run across a Hummer, an actual military Hummer. I don't know if you can see that. A real military Hummer. And that thing was badass. It's a Hummer 1, an H1. And I was like, oh, I'd love to have that. Needed a lot of work, but it was pretty badass. I sent that to him. I think I'm getting closer. Sorry for the delay. This was a really badass truck. And I do run across those periodically for sale. I know I sent him the picture. I don't know where the hell it is. I don't know how long ago it was. It was a long time ago, but I thought I could find it by now. Oh, here's an original FJ, a Toyota FJ. And it was all completely restored. It was pretty damn nice. I might have. Hell, I hope I didn't skip past it. No, I don't see it in here, and I don't want to tie up the chat. But if I find it, I might post it for you. All right, let's see here. Put some subs in your 79 Lincoln Mark V. Yeah, we can do that, man. Get you some boom in that baby. Hello, Lynx. Man, we were talking about you a little bit ago about that custom bag you sent me. I was talking about that, and I was supposed to get it on Friday, but I showed that UPS delayed it, and I'm not going to get it till Monday, and I'm going to be out of town. But if you need some awesome bags, Lynx Defense is your man. American-made bags, can't beat those. And before you have a fit, they're not the cheapest in the world, but they are awesome. AccuTrigger, yes. Redbird, how are you? Launch or Top Gun. To be honest with you, I haven't used. I used a lot of. I was a Chrysler technician, so I used a lot of the Chrysler scan tools back in the day, and I had a Snap-on scan tool, but I don't know if I've ever used a Launch or a Topton. I don't know if I have, and maybe I did, but I didn't know the name at that particular time, so I can't say that I've. I don't want to talk out of my butt. You know me. If I've used it, and I know I've used it, I'll tell you. But I don't think I have. And maybe I have and I just didn't know. Yes, the Voodoo rifles are really, really nice. They're super nice. They're not cheap, but they are very nice. I know X Ring has them. Rick, got your six or whatever, he's got them. I look at it this way. I want a really accurate one that's going to be fun to shoot, but I don't want to spend $5,000 on it. Not saying it's not worth it, but I have other guns that I really enjoy too. So, but if that's your gig, then definitely get it. There's nothing wrong with the Voodoo at all, from what I understand. If Ray and those guys recommend them, I'm sure there's nothing wrong with them. Let's go ahead and kill this last little drink. It is 8:05, and yes, Redbird is right. It's called the Savage. Has the Accu trigger, and that is correct. So, and it's a great trigger. I really, really like it. It's kind of set up as a two-stage, and I'm really a one-stage guy for ARs and 308s and stuff like that, AR-10s. But for a bolt gun, nothing wrong with a two-stage, and that little, safety, trigger safety, kind of acts as a two-stage, because when you come into it, you're pushing that in and then pulling the trigger. So it's a super accurate gun. I've got other bolt guns, but they don't have that good of a trigger in it. In my other old bolt guns, they've pretty got standard triggers in it. Not the tricked out 10 mings for the 700s or anything like that. Those are great triggers too. I mean, hell, some of those you can get like an 8-ounce trigger, 5-ounce trigger. I mean, you can get them really stupid light if you want them. And I definitely prefer a light trigger. But yeah, I'm gonna put this Unity on there. I was gonna do it earlier this afternoon or later this afternoon, but I got busy doing some work stuff. So I'll get that on there. And if y'all want to see what it is or what I'm putting it on, y'all can let me know, and I'll throw that on there. Let's see. Joseph is asking, I apologize if you already answered this question. Curious to know if you have shot either Prodigy, and what are your thoughts? Understand the frame, slide, and barrel are forged in the USA. I've played with the Prodigy. I have a buddy who has 3 Prodigies, and he is a staccato guy, so I trust him 1,000%. I have played with one, and finger banged it, worked the slide, done everything else. It's not a bad starter gun, and here's where I'll go with that. If you're looking for something to start out in 2011s, you could get a Prodigy. Okay, but here's what I would do. I would take out the fire control group 1,000% because it's all MIM. You're dealing with a MIM trigger, a MIM hammer, and a MIM sear. So I'd get rid of that shit because some of them have a freaking 6-pound trigger. And in a 2011, you should not have a damn 6-pound trigger. There's no way. You shouldn't even have a 5-pound trigger in a 2011 unless that's what you want. Okay, because you can tune a 2011 or a 1911 trigger to whatever poundage you want. However, on the MIM, for the sear and the hammer and everything else, being MIM, you don't want to do any sanding or any filing on a MIM part because you're taking off the hardening, process that they've done to it. So you're going to weaken it. So I would buy a Prodigy. I would pull all the fire control unit out of it. And then I would put an EGW fire control unit in it. You can buy the whole kit, hammer, everything, sear, the whole works. You can get it for like EGW. I think they had, the last time I looked, they had a sale on them, and I think they were like $189, something like that, maybe $220. And then you can put that fire control unit in it where you're getting matched hammer, matched sear, everything. And it's all tooled steel. It's not MIM. And you're changing it all out. And people say, what's wrong with MIM? Okay, if you followed me for a long time, I have broken plenty of MIM shit. Okay, it's just broken on me because I don't shoot shit every once in a week. I was shooting shit like every week and really shooting it, dry firing it, and really wearing it out, which you should be able to do. But some MIM stuff, if it's not heat treated properly, it cannot handle it. So I have broken factory SIG hammers that were MIM. I have broken factory SIG triggers on 1911s that were MIM. I've broken a 365 firing pin that was MIM. I've broken a bunch of MIM shit. So MIM and I do not get along, and I do not have faith in MIM. So that is why I recommend EGW. They make fantastic shit. I have used their shit in so many 1911s over the years and even in 2011s. Highly recommend their products. So I would buy a Prodigy. I would put all the fire control unit in it from EGW. After that, lube it up, polish where you need to, and you should be good to go. And I would also put a Dawson Precision guide rod in it, toolless guide rod. I get rid of that stupid shit guide rod they've got in that, throw it in the trash, and get a Dawson Precision toolless guide rod. And after that, you should be good to go. And the trigger of your choice. If you want a short, a medium, a long, I prefer flat triggers. That's just me personally. But I would recommend putting a trigger in it also. And to put all those stuff in that gun, it doesn't really, if you can't do it yourself, it doesn't cost a lot to have somebody do it. So however you want to handle that. Yeah, okay, IBG is saying Atlas triggers, and yes, I have plenty of Atlas triggers. I love their triggers. So that's what I would do. Because I look at it this way, and even my buddies, and he is a he knows 2011s as well. His opinion and my opinion agreed, and I said the Prodigy is a good, it's kind of like the Glock of 2011s, because there's nothing wrong with the frame, and there's nothing wrong with the slide or the barrel. So, and you've got, whatever footprint it's already milled. So, and you can get adapter plates and things like that for that to change whatever optic you want on it. So I think it's a good starter gun if you do those changes. And if you choose not to and you just want to shoot it like it is, hey, that's, do you. Not anything wrong with that. It's just you're not going to get the full experience with those heavier triggers, because I was playing with that trigger and I was like, this trigger is garbage. I mean, on that particular one that I was playing with, I was just not, I've got 2011s, and I'm not, and I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of a trigger snob. Just going to admit it. And people are like, you don't need a 2-pound trigger. I know. I've shot 10-pound triggers. I'm old. I've shot all that old garbage shit. So now I want to shoot nice shit. So sue me. I've got most of my 2011s. They've got between, like, my MPAs, they have about a 2.5-pound trigger. My staccatos are now down to about a 3.5 to a 4. And you can tune them. You can tune the forks to get those kind of triggers out of them, but it's really hard to do with a bunch of MIM stuff. So just being honest with you. But yeah, it's about 8:12, so we will shut this down unless anybody has any quick questions they want to answer, or if this chat's over and you want more answers, leave them in the comments. Go down there, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit that thumbs up. I definitely appreciate it. Get those algorithms going. 90% of my chats, and I've even shown it to buddies, they get demonetized. I don't know why. YouTube hates me, whatever. Some I'll fight it because I'm like, this is bull crap. I didn't do anything wrong. And some get reinstated, some don't, but it is what it is. I can't control it. But, definitely I appreciate the thumbs up and the comments and the shares and all that other stuff. It means a lot. Y'all, the reason I do the chat, I don't do it just to talk to myself. I do it to talk to y'all, share experiences with guns, things like that. I am not a full-blown gunsmith. There's some things I can do, some things I have gunsmiths do. I'm not too proud to say. So, but anyway, so if y'all have any comments, questions, leave it after the chat, and we will get them answered for you. If y'all want to see the SIG P322, if y'all are watching it after the chat, if y'all want to see the SIG P322 burn down, what I'm going to do is shoot 250 rounds. I've got the mags for it. I'm going to shoot 250 rounds in a row. with a clean gun, a lubed gun, and they're all federal auto match. I've loaded 250 rounds in the mags, and if y'all want to see it, I will blast them off, mag after mag after mag after mag after mag. I'm not going to do it suppressed. I'm going to do it comped, and we will see what it does. If it'll hold up, if it shits the bed, if it locks it up, if it carbons it up. I'm just interested to see if it will run it. I'm sure we're going to have some duds here and there because it is rimfire, but if y'all want to see that, let me know. But I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, Floridian. If y'all have any, statements after the chat, please leave it. But we will do this next Wednesday. I was going to try to have a guest on this evening. Something came up. He couldn't make it. But we'll try to get him on next week. I think y'all will enjoy it. He's a wealth of knowledge and a very, very good guy. So a good friend of mine. But I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a great evening. Remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Y'all take care.